Yo! Star Wars Battlefront. We're playing it right now on the PlayStation 4. You can play it on Xbox One or PC. It's a shooter. Multiplayer only game. Go backwards. Multiplayer only game, for the most part, by DICE. DICE develops Battlefield. Jesus.
Well, they did develop Battlefront.
They did do Battlefront.
Yeah, they did.
Word in, DICE developed Battlefront.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah. So yeah. Alright. So here's all the game modes. We can just briefly talk about them quick before we get into like the actual gameplay. So Supremacy, there's two 40-player game modes. That's Supremacy and Walker Assault. Supremacy is more if you've played War and Call of Duty. That's that. So there's like 5 different points. You know, if your team captures this point, then you have to go capture the next point, and the other team's defending it and trying to push you back. It's pretty exciting. Walker Assault is the Empire is trying to escort 2 or 1 AT-AT through the map to the other side. I say escort loosely because it's just on rails the whole time. And then the rebels try to defend them. The rebels, they hook up these Y-wings. They have to get these uplinks. And the more Y-wings you have, the more time you can attack the AT-AT at the 3 different points. That's basically that. Fighter Squadron's a dogfighting mode. Blast is team deathmatch. Cargo is...
It's kind of like two flag capture the flag / tug of war almost.
Yeah.
Is kind of how that plays.
Yeah. Drop zone's kind of like a team deathmatch, just there's these pods that drop down. First team to capture 5 pods wins.
Which maybe call it like hardpoint, I guess.
Yeah, sort of. Droid Run is you have to activate these 3 droids, and yeah, don't play that game mode. Hero Hunt is one player will be a hero, and then everybody else is trying to kill that hero. And then Heroes versus Villains is there's 3 heroes on the Rebels side, and there's 3 heroes on the Empire side in the game. So
3 villains.
Yeah.
Basically, once one team's heroes are basically wiped, or villains, sorry. Once either the heroes or villains are wiped out, or time runs out, whoever's got the most left wins.
Yeah. First one to do that 5 times wins. That's all the game modes. What's your guys' favorite game mode?
I mean, I haven't played any Droid Run, but I've played pretty much everything else except that. I think probably Supremacy is probably my favorite game mode at this point in the game. Mainly just because it is just all out, free for all, do what you need to do.
I haven't played Fighter Squadron, Droid Run, or Cargo, but loosely they all feel the same, as in you're trying to shoot people. So I don't know, they all feel the same to me in a lot of ways. There's just some different objectives, but I guess you could say that about any game really. But any game mode I'm playing, I just feel like I'm trying to kill people. So I can't say necessarily I have a favorite. Whichever game I do best in is my favorite. I
really like probably the 2 40-player game modes are probably where it's at. Probably more Walker Assault because it's more strategic, and it's definitely the game mode DICE put the most time into. But Heroes versus Villains, for a non-40 player one, that one can be really fun, but there's problems with it. For example, Sam and I played a match the other day, and we were totally destroying the other team. Then the other team just decided to turn it into hide and go seek, and then we lost.
And with
it was not fun.
Boba Fett's jetpack, you can get to a certain ledge or area on Hoth in a cave that no other player can reach.
Yeah.
And you can just kind of recharge your torpedoes and everything and just kill anyone that is on the ground. Yeah,
and because I personally feel the Empire has an advantage in terms of the heroes that they can use. Boba Fett, Vader, and Palpatine are definitely better than Han Solo, Leia, or Skywalker. It's just Boba Fett and Vader just seem to be the two best hero characters in the game. Boba Fett especially.
I'm not sure why Leia's in the game, to be honest. And that's not a sex thing or a gender thing. It's the fact that she's not... I don't see the point in putting putting more of a warrior, I guess, in a fighting game, as in Chewbacca or... well, not Anakin, but like Yoda or something. Someone that could bounce the sides and is more of, I guess, maybe Mace Windu, like someone that you could do something with. Whereas Leia, I felt, at least from what I remember of the movies, she wasn't she was more of a commander, but in this game, I feel like that doesn't really play into it as much. Yeah.
I agree with that. I feel everything about this game is all the maps, Tatooine, Endor, Hoth, and Solace, which is a new planet. But
Hoth.
It's
just the guy with the lisp saying Hoth.
They're all most of the maps are all based off of the original trilogy in this game. Why they chose Leia, I have no clue. When they could have definitely chose like Chewbacca.
Absolutely.
I don't know. So Luke's playing Walker Assault on Tatooine right now.
Yep.
What are you? The Empire?
I am the Empire.
So So the objective here is to just shut down the rebels from getting those Y-wings up. There's uplinks there. That's basically it.
Yeah. I'm sucking right now, though.
Let's get into right on the left there. So there's 3 different hands that you can have in terms of cards that you see in the bottom right hand of the screen. So you can have 2, and then you can use one of your partners. So there's 3 different ones that you can use. The cards, there'll be grenades, a pulse rifle, cycler rifle, and then the middle card is more of like a boost, like a ion shot or something that will do more damage against vehicles, stuff like that.
Or a shield.
Yeah. That all kinds of different stuff. We'll get in. I'll say that point later. But there's also trait cards that you can use. The traits you don't unlock until level 17, and they definitely help you. And that just gets to one of my bigger problems about this game. You guys say how you feel. Is the progression system in this game fucking sucks.
Yeah,
it is not good. It's slow. It's unnecessarily slow. Unlocking things is kind of ridiculous. I just feel it takes forever to get from one rank to the other. And then certain pieces of equipment are just so far away. It feels like, just because the progression system is super slow in this game. I feel, because some of the traits and stuff that you unlock later down the road definitely will help you. I guess it somewhat makes sense, but someone that's played this game a lot is going to have a huge advantage over a brand new player because of the stuff that they have. Now, of course, that's going to be that way because, you played it longer, but that's not the case with like a Halo or a Call of Duty where things are more balanced. You guys feeling me? What do you guys feel about the progression system?
Like, You know, let's fuck that, and we'll pick up TIE Fighter. Yeah, I mean, some of the later on, like the blasters you can unlock later on are definitely much better than like some of the starting ones. Sorry, and a dogfight here. But some of the power ups or some of the star cards and stuff, they're definitely more powerful than the basic shit you start out with.
What do you mean?
It's gonna make a point. Figure out what that point is. It was something about this game doing something not right. It was another thing. I lose track of it. Yeah, I don't know how many times I got killed by a blaster pistol type deal thing. It's like DL-44, DR-44. It's the last time you can unlock in the game.
The Han Solo one.
I don't know how many times I've died because of that. So I guess a lot of people play the game. It also doesn't... well, I'll say this first. I presumed that you would get the jump pack earlier on in the game since it was in the beta, and they're like, oh, here, experience this, and it's going to be kind of a common thing in the game, but you need to get to rank 13, and like Tyler was saying, it just feels like it takes forever to rank up.
Yeah.
And lastly, I think it doesn't help that matchmaking on my theory, my game theory, shout out to Matt Pat, I don't know him or anything, but that matchmaking in multiplayer games is a myth because I don't know how many times it just feels like they don't put people of equal skill level together, as in the other night Tyler and I were playing, and what were we playing? Just Blast, and we were getting I think everyone on the other team had a positive KD.
Yeah, it was seriously awful.
Yeah, but that's just what DICE doesn't make a good multiplayer. I've heard they have problems with multiplayer.
And I mean, that's not just
and stuff.
That's not just us either. I mean, we're actually all three pretty decent at this game.
Because it isn't that tough of a game. I think.
No, and that brings me to another point. This game is incredibly fucking easy. So Call of Duty or Halo or something has a high skill ceiling, you can call it, where someone comes in at this level and there's a lot of room where you can just get better. This game, I don't really feel that it has any type. There's not really a whole lot of skill. I mean, people just die super quick. I feel most weapons are overly accurate.
Or they're just kind of the same. I don't feel there's a lot of differentiation. Is that a word? Differentiation. That is a word between weapons.
Yeah, it's just everybody dies so unbelievably quickly, and it just feels that some matches are like Walker Assault is the most strategic mode in this game. It sometimes just feels like a big team deathmatch almost, in that there's not a whole lot of strategy. There's just grenade spamming everywhere. Sometimes, for example, on Endor, we were playing Supremacy, Sam and I, one night, and we were at the last point. All we needed to do is take one last point. And the spawning is so fucking awful sometimes in this game. We kept spawning in the same fucking base, while the Empire sat outside with an AT-ST blasting us from one side, and their whole team was on the other side. So it's like...
turrets.
What the fuck, man? I mean, the spawning is really bad sometimes in this game.
It is possible to, kind of override the game and just kind of, for lack of a better word, sort of farm kills that way.
Yeah.
To just, I'm just going to wait here and blast everyone that comes out, and, you just kind of, there are loopholes in the game, I think.
Yeah. You have any thoughts on shooting, combat, spawns?
Yeah, I mean, some of the spawns are pretty terrible. Some of the weapons could be a little bit better balanced. I mean, there are times where I've been just absolutely just one shot. And kind of like Sam said, they kind of did tease you a little bit with giving you the jump pack and shit in the beta, because that probably is one of the most useful star cards for getting around the map. there are times in certain matches where it does feel like it's just nothing but grenade spamming. But for the most part, I would say it's not too unbalanced in terms of like the weapons. Really, there's really not one that's too much better than another.
I just feel everybody dies so quickly.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know.
No, I can see exactly where you're coming from, because there are times where I've put a whole thing of shots into somebody and then they don't die, and then all of a sudden one shot and then I'm down.
Yeah, I just feel this game doesn't really take a whole lot of skill.
Yeah.
But so let's get into one of the other pet peeves I have about this game is the party system is awful.
Non-existent.
So you can partner up with one other person, and that'll be your partner in all the game modes. But say you have 3 or 4 or 5 people, you'll partner up 2 by 2, and then hopefully when one team joins a match, then it'll pop up saying, "Hey, someone in your party joined a match." Then hopefully you'll get in. The party system's pretty bad in this game. I don't know why it's 2 people. Battlefield 4, for example, has, I believe, 4 people, and you can make really big, nice squads that just go from game mode to game mode, whereas this game, there's just 2 people. Why they limited it to 2, I have no fucking clue, because it's not like it would hurt if they made it 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever, but
it would give your friends more of a reason to buy the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. There is there's no party system. It's non-existent. Why didn't my grenade explode?
That's the stupid Call of Duty thing. You shoot a rocket and it disappears if you die. Why games do that? I don't understand.
Like post-mortem grenade kills.
That's how it is
more than once,
I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Sam on that. Another thing, so there's a battle-based missions mode, which you can play by yourself or you can play with just one other person.
Yeah.
Which basically you'll just battle with AI on maps. You can set the difficulty to 3 different difficulties: normal, hard, or master. And then there's a survival mode, which has 4 maps. Another pet peeve I have about those game modes is why are they just 2 people? Why can't I just get a whole group of my friends together and we split up 3 on one side and 3 on the other side and then just have a battle by ourselves? Or why can't we really crank the difficulty up in survival and have 4 people going? It just limiting it to 2 makes no sense in a game that's slightly limited on content. In my opinion, what do you guys feel about the battle mode and the survival mode and all that stuff?
Like, survival mode is fun, the battle mode is fun, but there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be able to have a private match of like 3-on-3. And I've done like the split screen versus stuff with a friend of mine who doesn't have the game, and it does let you have bots in there, but I don't think it gives you enough bots to really make it worthwhile. And why is there a big red dot on my map here? That would be why. I'm going to run away. But yeah, there's absolutely no reason that these modes should be set up the way they are. There's no reason there should not be a party system in a multiplayer-only game. Why DICE decided to do that is beyond me. But then again, I don't work at DICE. Apparently they know better than someone who has been a gamer for 20-something years.
Yeah, I agree. And like I was saying, it would give your friends more reason to buy the game. Or if it's like 2 or 3 of you have it, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a pretty solid game. And the other person would be like, oh, well, now I have more of a reason if we can battle each other, and that would be like the old days and stuff. Which this game has there, but it's not complete. Yeah. It's like you can almost go back to the old days.
Almost.
Oh, yeah. Squad shield.
survival mode is fun, though.
It is fun. It's definitely fun.
Especially if you turn up the difficulty. I just wish you could have more people. What do you guys feel about survival mode?
Yeah, it was alright. The one we were playing the other night, which it was with like the enemies had air support and ATSTs.
Oh, and Solace.
Yeah, that one was kind of challenging. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, they're pretty solid. To me though, it's not something that can last. I think eventually I'll talk about it a little bit more, but you know, some of the stuff they have in this game is kind of fun, but it just doesn't go the distance. Yeah, it doesn't last. It's like, all right, I've done that. Now, you know, it's a bit underwhelming in that sense, but yeah, it's fun. Like the first couple of times you play it.
Yeah. What do you feel?
Survival. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with what Sam said. You know, it's fun the first couple times, and it's fun especially when you crank up the difficulty. But it just seems like there's not enough meat there to really make it like, this is what I want to do for hours. Whereas with like Battlefront 2, you know, a friend of mine sat and played Galactic Conquest for, you know, almost a whole night. That was all we did, was just sit there and do every faction's Galactic Conquest multiple times. We had it down to a science, and it was still fun every time. So maybe, I don't know, there is the bullshit seasons pass, so maybe eventually they'll add more variety in, more game modes, you know, things along those lines. But I'm not holding my breath for it.
Yeah, getting into something that Sam kind of alluded to is that you play this game for 10, 12 hours or whatever, and you go,
what's next?
What now?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, playing the game modes are a lot of fun.
I'll tell you what's now. You play the same shit over and over and over again to rank up.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's damn fun. I'm telling you, it's fun.
I mean, look, every multiplayer game is like that. You play the same shit over and over and over again to rank up, but every multiplayer game has a lot more to it. And every multiplayer game has a lot more skill to it, to where even if you're playing the same game mode over and over and over again, you know, you feel like you're getting better, or, you know, some crazy shit happens. Where here, every match kind of plays out the same exact way most of the time. Everybody just plays the map the same exact way. There's not a lot there. For example, Walker Assault is a mode that I feel is cool, and I have fun playing it, but there should be more there. Same with Supremacy. There should be more there. All these game modes, there's like, here's a cool base, but we're just going to do minimal stuff because Star Wars has a new movie coming out, and we're going to rush this game out the door. You know, I just feel like what's here is neat, but after a while, you know, I can't sit and play this game all night like I could Halo or Call of Duty or Destiny. You know, it's a game you pop it in for an hour and a half, dick off with your friends, and then you go, all right, let's play something else.
Yeah. Because
it just gets a little bit tiresome. But what the base is cool,
and it's
but it just needs a lot more. And not having some type of Galactic Conquest mode is ridiculous to me, because you almost have it there. The missions mode with the battles, Galactic Conquest was like fighting against AI.
Yeah.
So you're almost there. Just develop a hell of a lot further, where there's factions and the battles are bigger, and you know maybe there's objectives to do, and then you know you can capture each planet. You know, just take it further. I mean, don't make it so fucking basic.
Or hey, how about you actually put in, you know, space combat?
Well, yeah, there's no reason why in Fighter Squadron they couldn't have a map up in space or something like that. I don't know why that's not a thing. But yeah.
or make progressive maps.
Yeah,
some of the maps,
change.
like on Tatooine, are just very small. I don't know how else to put it. Very small. Some of the maps that you get to play in are just very, very limited.
And the bad spawning doesn't go well with those small maps.
And there's no progression to it. It's not... maybe for the exception of, like, Endor, maybe Hoth. You don't really go from any point A to point B. It's just kind of run around in this little square kind of circle area and shoot each other. And it's not, okay, well, I'm going to fight you over by this area, or let's fight over by this. It's just kind of running around in a very limited space.
Yeah.
I think, which... I mean, I'll make the comparison, like my one free comparison to Battlefront 2 in this review is that one of the best things about Conquest is that you felt like you're going through a base. You're starting at the beginning of the base, and you're going through the base, and you're killing people in the base. You know, it's like you're moving. Here it just feels like you're kind of roaming about. It's like, oh, all right, I'm just going to run in a big circle, you know? I'm going to run underneath that big thing on Tatooine that I don't know the name of. It's like a big house on tracks or whatever.
Sandcrawler?
Yeah, like I'm going to run underneath of that, and it's like, oh, big fucking deal. You know? Oh.
Yeah.
More progression would have been nice.
Yeah. Like, just a better progression system and maps that change or... you know, in the game modes, there's more to them, would definitely help this game out a lot, where you can go, okay, now I feel like playing this game all night, because there's, you know, every match is totally fucking different.
Or memorable stuff. There's nothing that memorable about each map, as in, like, iconic things, maybe? Like, the Sand Walker, right? Mm-hmm. That's what it's called. Yeah. There's that. On one map, and Hoth, it's like, oh, well, there's kind of the base, but there's nothing that's kind of like, you get to see a wall, maybe like an AT-AT out in the distance, but it's like, I don't know, certain things it doesn't feel like, oh, that's so cool. It's just kind of like this barren wasteland of what kind of resembles, it's like a generic Star Wars map in a way.
Yeah.
Where I felt they could have done a lot more with the rights that they got in this game.
Yeah, I mean, only having 4 planets is kind of stupid. Where in like Battlefront 2 you had a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because, and I'm just throwing this out there now. If this game had a campaign and a story, you would probably play the story once or twice. And then mostly play multiplayer. So making it multiplayer only isn't the biggest thing. However, I just feel because it's Star Wars, there's no reason why there shouldn't be a campaign. Because you could have someone at Disney write a fucking Star Wars story, and then DICE just develops it. DICE has been bad at telling stories in the past 2 Battlefield games, in my opinion. Battlefield 3 and 4. So just have Disney write it, and then DICE develops the levels and all that stuff. Star Wars has one of the most is so interesting and has a lot of lore and cool things, and why you couldn't explore that, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna knock the game for not having a campaign, but I just feel there's kind of no reason why there shouldn't be one, in my opinion. It just feels slightly rushed, and that's why there isn't one. You guys have anything else to say? What do you guys enjoy about this game? We've been kind of just talking dirt on it, but that's because there's a lot of just missing things and things that need to be improved on. But what do you guys enjoy?
I mean, like, it's pretty. It's certainly very pretty to look at.
It's one of the most gorgeous games ever made, in my opinion.
But it's like and the sound. The sound is probably the most on point thing. Mm-hmm. Or to use the the newfangled the term the kids are using, it's on fleek. Sorry, Casey, I had to do that. Couldn't resist. Couldn't help myself. But I mean, it really is probably one of the most on point sounding Star Wars games I have heard. In terms of just sound effects, explosions, lasers, the way the that trademark TIE Fighter whine, the music that plays the whole time, it's just right there. It makes you feel like you are in the movies.
Something I like about the game. As fun as it is to kind of do well sometimes, I can't say that I like that about the game because it's just as easy as it. It's not like, again, it's not really like you have as much control for some people that aren't Superman when it comes to multiplayer games. I don't think there's anything I specifically really like about the game. I just feel like a lot of it's alright, or a good bit of it's alright, and then a good bit of it is just not alright. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I haven't felt like this is a really good... Like, at first it was kind of fun, those first feelings you get when you play the game, but then, like I said, once you kind of play through it, it's like, alright, that was that.
Yeah.
But I guess it's that first few minutes of joy, that first impression. It's like, oh, wow, this is kind of cool. I guess that's what I liked about it. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Visually, this game is just gorgeous. They really nailed a lot about the sound and the visuals of this game. But, yeah, I mean, it seems like it does things just good but not great. And there's some things that it just doesn't do even good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like that's the whole story of the actual story of this game is it's good, but it's not great.
Yeah,
it could have been great, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's missing something.
Yeah. So here's some dioramas that you can unlock just by doing some stuff. They're kind of grindy. They're all right. They're kind of neat to unlock. Yeah. Star Wars Battlefront. I mean, I'm going to continue to play it, but just not... like I said, I just can't play it all the time. Pop it in every once in a while for an hour and a half, dick off with your friends, and then move on. It's a fun game in that sense, but I think if you sat there and just played it over and over and over again, this game can really, really wear on you. I just wish they would fix the progression system and honestly throw in more content. Honestly, for a game that's kind of bare bones in its game modes, in its gameplay, then charging another $50 is kind of fucking ridiculous, in my opinion, for more game modes. Now, they are adding a new game mode and 3 new maps for free, but that's probably all you'll get for free.
Other planets or the same planets?
Different planet.
Oh, okay. Do you know which one?
Jakku.
The hell's that one?
It's from the new movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that comes out in December.
That advertisement in there.
Yeah, and the new game mode is a 40-person game mode, so there'll be 3. Not that it'll be that much different than what's there, but yeah. Maybe
the game mode is having to get a ticket to the new Star Wars movie before it sells out.
Yeah. So yeah. Any last thoughts?
Well, are we gonna give it a rating?
Sure.
In summary, I feel that the game is, at first, it's kind of fun, but then it's like there's not enough there to make it last. I mean, like these guys said, the sound and the look of the game they got right, but it would just be not right to screw up the sound. There's no way that you can't get that right. So I'm not going to give them points for that. It's like, there's no way that, it's Star Wars. There's no way that you can't get that right. So they got it right, but it's like, you should have,
True, but they did have to license the music.
Yeah. Yeah.
The music does help a lot, too, given that Star Wars feeling. But, yeah.
In terms of progression in the game, I mean, it is what it is. I don't really like it, but I guess it is what it is. You have to play the game a lot to get stuff. And I felt that wouldn't be as bad, again, if I come back to if there was more to make the game last. The fun you were having, if you could stretch that out over time, the more you would play it, it would feel easier to rank up. I don't think there's enough incentive to rank up in a way. Like some of the few good things, I guess, with the character customization are like way toward the end, where you, at least for the rebels, you can choose to be different races. That's the only thing that's kind of like, I would play only for that, but that's at like 40, 45, 50, and it's like, I don't have time for that. Maybe in like a year I can get that stuff. But yeah, honestly, it's like I had some fun at first, but it's like a 6.5 out of 10, honestly. I mean, honest, that's what you're getting. You're getting a game that doesn't have enough. And they had no business charging full price for this game when there's more coming out for less money. It's like, you know, here pay $60 for less stuff, or pay $50 for more stuff. It's like, I wish I could just pay the $50 for more stuff, but I have to buy this game first. That's how they suck you in. And just a vagina with teeth. That's this game.
That should be the headline. Star Wars Battlefront review, vagina with teeth.
Is that what the Sarlacc was? Am I getting that right? Do I have the name of something down? Yeah. Yeah.
It's basically just a
ground
pit
vagina
in the desert with teeth.
Yep. It's a ground vagina.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to give this game a 7.5. It's good, not great. I have fun with it, but not over a very long time. And it, yeah, like we said, has some stuff it should work on. You know, who knows? Maybe if you bought the season pass and made Battlefront the $110 game that it is, technically, maybe this game's like a fucking 9 out of 10, because it's like, oh, look at all this cool stuff. But nope, pay $110 fucking dollars. You can almost buy a console for that.
You can buy a Wii U for that, basically.
No. You can almost buy a 3DS for that.
You can buy like a regular 3DS for that. Not the new 3DS, but you can buy a 3DS.
Or you can buy...
You can buy a Vita. You can buy a fucking PS Vita for that price.
Technically, there's a lot of things you can buy for that price.
You can buy like a month's worth of groceries to feed your fucking family, but instead you're going to pay for Battlefront.
Yeah.
Or put that towards your future or something. For buying a house.
Yeah. I'm going to split
Shut up. You're not part of this review.
I'm going to split the difference. 7 out of 10 for me. Again, good, not great. Potential was there, and it just didn't live up to expectations. Like Sam said, they're charging you, they're charging you premium prices for something that should have been discount prices.
This game's very premium prices.
And then they're charging you, hey, here, come spend another $50 to get, everything that should have been in this game to begin with. So, that's what I hate about this whole, this generation now. Everything's got a fucking season's pass that's ridiculously expensive and doesn't have enough. At least this has content to make it worth a $50 price tag, we hope. We haven't seen anything from the season's pass yet. But, who knows?
Yeah, that's a different video.